Yo, I was going into this episode with an absolute low set of expectations, and I was proven otherwise as far as, what actually happened in the episode. Good episode. Were they obviously, kind of BSing with it a little bit? Yes, absolutely. But this episode was a good one. The biggest challenge for me is getting past the things that are being introduced for these characters at such a rapid pace. But once, sometimes with Dragon Ball Super, or just Dragon Ball in general, you gotta ignore some things, alright? You can't go into this show and always expecting, all of the how do I put it, man? I think you guys, if you're watching this, you understand what I'm saying. There's some things you have to bat a blind eye to. Because once you get past it, you're gonna see some good stuff. And on the flip side, if you don't bat a blind eye, you're gonna get hung up, man. You're gonna get hung up and you're gonna be disappointed the whole time. But that's just Dragon Ball. So let's quickly go over it real quick. Let's quickly get into it. Somebody's gonna have to explain to me what's going on with Kale's character. Like, is she gay? Is she not gay? I don't care what she is. I just needed to just come on out. She calls Cauliflower her sis, but man, there's obviously something else going on. Anyways, moving on. So the episode starts. Kale's going into a berserk state. She reaches this form, and it's from here, the battle begins. Except this time, it's not just Kale in her berserk mode. It's also Cauliflower coming in with the assist. So when she initially comes out of the berserk state, she can't really identify who Cauliflower is. Cauliflower butters her up real good, like, oh, you're my best friend, and you went above your limits, and I'm so proud of you, and Kale starts crying, she snaps out of it, she gets back in the game. Now they're fighting Goku, 2v1. During the battle, they knock Goku through, some mountains. Kale gets mad that Goku dodged an attack, and so she shoves him through, no, sorry, wrong spot, that's later on. She shoves him through a mountain. Once they get through the mountain, they land right in front of Frieza. Frieza sees the Saiyans, and he's like, yo, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm about to fight both of you. But Goku's not having it. So Goku comes up on the mountaintop, grabs Frieza by the wrist and say, hey man, not fair. This was my battle. I'm fighting them. And so Frieza says, all right, well then you hurry up and lose so I can be entertained. It skips over. Next part. I need to get this out there. There's actually some pretty good animated scenes in this episode. So, some of the shots are pretty good. You're going to catch a few in-between stills that kind of look, pretty garbage. But outside of that, like the key moments that they're focusing on, they're pretty good. So one of my favorite scenes is when Kale, in her berserk state, grabs Goku by his left arm. Because he thinks that she was intentionally trying to come from behind with a sneak attack, and he calls it out, and she's like, no, actually that's part of the plan. So she grabs his arm, and then while she's holding his arm, Cauliflower comes in and just starts giving him body shots, and it was pretty cool to watch. I actually like that part. And throughout the episode, I gotta go ahead and check and see which animator was on for this episode, but a lot of the scenes reminded me kind of the Z style. The way the animation looked, or like the characters' faces just looked sharper. It was all in all, it was pretty good looking. So yeah, he's taking the body shots. He's actually fighting her off with his other arm, and while he's blocking the attacks, he eventually overpowers Kale and does a front flip while she's still holding his arm and slams her down on the ground. So boom, right after that, they all stand away. Goku's hits the point where he's like, alright, look, you guys are doing pretty good, but it's time for me to take it to the next step. So he goes Super Saiyan God. Everybody's like, ooh, he's going red. Kale says this cool part where she's like, whether he's red or blue, it's all the same. So then they do the standoff thing, of course, but then they go into it. But yo, Goku does the illest thing I've seen him do. He pulls out his finger like he's about to do a spirit gun, and he's just shooting ki blasts out of the tips of his fingers. I was like, what is happening? Goku is actually cool for a change? So I thought that was pretty cool. After that scene happens, he's fighting them both off. He's in Super Saiyan God mode, so he has the red hair. And while he's blocking them off, he actually gets a few good hits in. He literally crumples Cauliflower. And after he crumples her, you know, they blast him away and so forth. He jumps through Kale's blast, goes in for the hit, and then the scene transitions to he does this cool thing where he lets out the two key blasts out of each hand. They're the circle ones. It almost reminds me of when he was fighting Frieza and Namek and he was underwater and he put the two little key balls out. But anyways, these are homing attacks. So they're following Cauliflower and Kale. Well, one actually hits Cauliflower. Boom, she's down for the count. And now after she's down, who do you think gets all upset? So she goes in for the base save. She's holding her in her arms, looking at her crumpled girl. I'm like, what I do want to note is during this part where, you know, right before Kale got hit, I mean not Kale, Cauliflower got hit by the blast that Goku sent out, the two ones. What was really cool was it almost reminded me of the freaking Yamcha, the way he was doing the volleyball fist. Like it was crazy. Like seeing Goku manipulate the blast with his hand. It was super sick. Like Goku was in this state of playing around, but then at the same time he was really trying to get things taken care of. Because after Cauliflower gets hit, he charges, he says, you know, this was a fun, you know, we should do this again sometime. And he charges up for a Kamehameha to just straight up blast them off. And I'm like, yeah, it's weird to see. It was just weird for me to see Goku actually go ahead and take the initiative to blast somebody out of the ring. Because I just feel like every time somebody's gotten blasted out, it's been either by accident or, you know, just something else happened. But yeah, so he was about to blast them off. And then crumpled Cauliflower comes up with the suggestion to Kale saying, hey, you know, I told you we're always powerful. We're more powerful than ever when we're together. Strongest in the universe, blah, blah, blah. Kale says yes. It does a quick flashback and insert cliche moment here. Champa's talking about giving them the Potara rings. So right after this, boom, the two fuse, and through Goku's Kamehameha, which actually blew off a piece of the arena, the fused Kafla darts back into the stage. So now she's back on the stage, and Goku's like, what just happened? So you would think with the two major different personalities that they have, that Kafla would be like bipolar or something, but nah, that's not the case. They don't really focus too much on that. The whole time I'm watching this episode, I'm like, it's just so stupid for you guys to be going all out fighting each other like this while Jiren's meditating. Like the ideal thing would be let's just both go after Jiren. Like why are we thrashing each other? Is what I was asking myself the whole time. So Goku's perplexed. He's wondering, like, yo, are those really the Bataras? Insert, you know, hey, I'm a fused warrior, and you know, the two names together, this is who I am. Kal and Cauliflower make Kefla. You know, so we get that scene. Champa's fangasming hard because this was, you know, a conspired thing behind the scenes that he came up with the Supreme Kai. Anyways, so she starts to power up, saying, oh, I feel like I have infinite power. Goku's saying he can't sense the bounds of her energy. She darts at Goku. She's too quick. She doesn't even realize how quick she is. Everybody senses this overwhelming power. You know, Vegeta's fighting Topo, and I mean not Vegeta. Vegeta's fighting Topo, and then it pauses, and Vegeta's like, "Oh, dude, I shoot you, overwhelming power by Kakarot." And then, you know, Kefla gets a good hook on Goku in the face, and then that's where the episode ends. So, all in all, I thought the episode was pretty good. This is just a episode quickie. Not like a full-on review or like episode breakdown. I want to do a breakdown for the episode because there's a lot of good moments in this that you guys, if you're not watching the episode or didn't get the chance to see the episode, or for some reason you can't watch it, they look really good. But yeah, so I'll do a breakdown for episode 115 for the preview, and we'll go from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Hikerson, and I'll see you later.